Welcome to the Bobcast. I am the bad boy, and with me is Bob.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comic Book Bobcast, brought to you by TheElbowDrop.com, where we drop the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. I am the bad boy, as usual. With me is
Bob.
Bob, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good as always, bad boy. Lovely voice. I love your John Panay impression from Punisher 2004.
We are doing a Punisher-themed Bobcast tonight on account of we have a new casting for the Punisher that everybody's excited about, I think. John Bernthal.
Good enough to where even I'm happy with it.
That's a miracle.
It is.
For those who haven't been listening that long, that is a friggin' miracle. Most people know him from The Walking Dead. He played a guy who thinks nothing of locking a man away and banging his wife.
While his kid watches.
So, we figured, why not? Let's dive into the Punisher because he's hot right now just because of this. Bob, do you personally think that this is going to be like the Punisher's big break right now in media?
Yeah, true. Honestly, I think so, because we saw what happened with Daredevil, who's been cursed with a terrible history, say, on the screen at least, big screen or small screen, with the atrocious 2003 Ben Affleck film. So, and look what happened. They made a Netflix series, and he just skyrocketed. Now suddenly everybody knows about Daredevil. Daredevil's the newest hipster superhero. All over the place. And hopefully this will be a great way to revive yet another damaged superhero. In this situation, Punisher.
I agree with you completely. The Daredevil thing is huge right now. Everybody's talking about it, and why not do it with all? I mean, let's take every failed Marvel character in the media, I should say.
Yeah.
And try to revitalize them. Punisher is really cool. Always has been.
Yeah.
Fan favorite of people who actually read comic books. I know people who literally just read the Punisher.
I got into Punisher due to the the War Journal comic strip, which is so violent, and Punisher for the Marvel Max series, which was like Marvel but really bloody and gory and very adult oriented. Mm-hmm. Punisher was like the mascot for that branch of comic books for Marvel, especially in the 90s.
Oh yeah. That's the thing about the Punisher that I think we all love is that there's this graphic and deep-rooted feelings towards he has a lot of war flashbacks and in general, I mean, he's traumatized. And then at the same time, he gets himself into, he deals punishment for people those who deserve it.
Absolutely.
So why not go after crime families? Let's go after, basically the people who've been getting under the system.
And what's great is he kills them.
Yeah.
He punishes them till death.
Yes, till death do us part with the Punisher. That's something that Marvel's always been a very real comic book series.
Yeah, exactly. They don't mind people dying, but like if it's almost accidental, like death is inevitable, but it's never the superhero's fault in a way.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think the Punisher, a lot of people say he's like an anti-hero.
Yeah, I agree, because every superhero is like, no, you can't kill, because that's like the moral code of every superhero. Thou shall not kill, whatever, because then I'll just be bad as the person I'm trying to stop. But Punisher just doesn't give a damn. His family was brutally murdered by a mafioso family for his partaking in ruining one of their crimes gone wrong. So he's got nothing to lose. He's just killing till he can be killed.
And another thing to mention about the Punisher, no superpowers.
Yeah, he's just the definition. He's basically Batman without the gadgets, but instead of gadgets, he's got guns, what Batman pretty much should be.
Yes, he has a military arsenal at his disposal.
Massive military experience. He was in Nam, which War Journal came from, and that was just, fantastic
disturbing
writing. Oh, yeah.
So, there have been several incarnations of the Punisher before. The first one from 1989 with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, God.
Which, most people try not to talk about because it doesn't really... He's not actually the Punisher other than the title.
Yeah, he doesn't have the skull icon on him at all. He's never called, it's the Punisher. He's just your typical late 80s, early 90s action freak hero killing people for the good of humankind. 80s.
Very strange, very very weird movie. I mean, he's in the sewers most of the movie. A lot of sewer actually lives in the sewer, basically.
Yeah, it's how he gets around and stuff, which I kind of like. I think it was pretty cool.
It's a great way to keep out of sight, which that like Nam training is you keep yourself hidden. But to me, I mean, it was a failed attempt. I don't think too many people will say that they enjoyed that. I mean, I've watched it, but
I've watched it at least maybe 2-3 times because, like, at one point I was really bored with myself, and I tried finding the big release, like, Fantastic Four got released in the early 2000s, like these big advertised pieces, but then we went in the 90s and the 80s. We had Punisher, that shitty Captain America movie, the Fantastic Four failure. So I'm just watching it, and, like, the Punisher sadly happened to be the best of the bunch.
That's sadly true. Sadly true.
But not saying much among the Island of Misfit movies.
Then after that, took some time off.
Oh, yeah.
Ate
pizza with the Ninja Turtles in the sewers. And then he came back, 13 years later, with Thomas Jane's 2004 rendition of The Punisher.
Yes.
Or was it just Punisher? What was the exact name of the movie?
I believe it was I think it was called The Punisher, if I remember correctly.
I don't even remember because that's how much I actually didn't like it. But I mean, you take off. You tell me how you felt about his first real on-screen appearance.
This is a movie that anybody will tell you that Thomas Jane was not an appropriate choice for The Punisher. Personally, I'm willing to look past a lot of that stuff. If I can enjoy the movie, I can kind of look past the inaccuracies, if you will. But the thing that most people don't like about this movie is that he is a schemer, really, in this movie more than anything. He doesn't really just until the final scene. He really doesn't dispense justice. Dispense punishment, rather, I should say. The whole movie, he's trying to trick people.
Yeah, using manipulation. He's pretty much like Batman. He plans stuff out and he lets all the dominoes fall into place till there's that one that didn't fall, and he goes in there and knocks it down.
Yes,
that's his personality.
I will say, very cool movie. The way it pans out. I mean, it had quite a few celebrities in there. You had John Travolta.
John Travolta played the main bad guy, the main villain.
Rebecca Romijn.
Rebecca Romijn was in there. That's right.
John Panay. As
Panay
you mentioned earlier.
Rest in peace.
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster is in it. That's right. That's right.
Played that punk kid with all the piercings. That was Ben Foster. For those who
a very large cast. Like, this was one of those movies that came out from 2000 to 2006, 7. There was just an onslaught of movies produced by, like, other party studios who bought the rights to those characters, and Marvel almost went bankrupt. And every single superhero in this era was just sad, depressed. They had some crappy alternative rock band of the time do the theme song and stuff, and they just looked really sad in the rain kind of thing. And Punisher is a sheer shining example. The scene, I mean, how would you feel about the scene where his entire family, not just his wife and daughter, no, the whole castle bloodline was killed on their getaway in Puerto Rico or something?
That's a really upsetting scene, especially when you see them, like, trying to hide the kid.
And the guy looks down and just brrr.
Yeah,
that was intense.
Very brutal scene, and he's just laying there like, okay, I'm the last one left, and then they pop him in the chest and just kick him.
And then he just blows up off the dock.
Yeah. Thankfully, that random island man was there to save him.
Of course, there's always a random island old guy. There's always an old guy with wisdom to help somebody.
Like con Dios, go with God.
Thomas Jane was a great Frank Castle. I didn't really like him as Punisher.
Okay, I can dig that.
One thing that made me laugh was they kind of revamped the logo where it was just kind of like this blurry spray painted look, like a really dirty, gritty, which the film miserably attempted to capture, and it's obscene, retarded violence and everything. But I love the ending scene where he's taken on the whole compound when he finally decides to become the Punisher with his gun, his blazing justice. All he's wearing is just a bulletproof vest, and his arms are exposed. His neck is exposed. I'm going to use an arrow and a pistol. YOLO. Like, what the fuck? Really? That's what you do? And he gets fucked up. He gets a shotgun and everything. He's so close to death just because of the way he was angling his body.
What bothers me about the skull logo especially is how they explain it in the movie.
Oh, so bad.
He's like, my son comes back. He's like, oh, Dad, I got you this really cool shirt that some random person was selling on this island in the middle of nowhere. Don't you think it's cool? He's like, yeah, I'm glad my son bought me a skull shirt because I'm at a family fucking reunion, so...
Yeah, this is always great. Like, no, don't get some local groceries or something. No, hey, guys, you brought beer, you brought hot dogs. I brought this shitty shirt my son brought me.
Yeah, I mean, it's blazing heat, sun shining.
You bring him a black shirt.
Thanks, son.
You're the best.
This is a great castle reunion.
God, I just put a bullet in my chest already. I hate this gift so much.
But overall, I mean, I did like a lot of the movie. Yeah, Kevin Nash as the Russian.
Kevin Nash was the Russian who actually got hurt in the scene where they're fighting, and he just picks him up, and Thomas Jane, in a failure attempt, stabs him in the shoulder with a knife, which was legitimately real, but Kevin Nash was supposedly so in the scene. He goes, look at the adjective, stab. And he gets stabbed in the shoulder, and he's just kept going on. He got injured. He couldn't return to wrestling because of it. But that's how intense that scene got, which I liked. I liked the Russian. The Russian was like a newer character introduced in the later 2000s. Like, he was your typical I love America, Russia. Like, he was in charge of the Fantastic Four fan club, and he wore Converse and the pinstripe sailor T-shirt. I like how they included him.
Yes, I mean, there was a pretty cool scene referencing the song that I was singing earlier.
With Kevin Nash.
And it's actually a great scene to watch where, like, everybody's listening to the music, dancing around. Meanwhile, Frank Castle's having the shit kicked out of him
by this giant blonde Kevin Nash Russian.
Barging through walls. I mean, listen, I understand music can get really loud. There's no way you wouldn't hear walls coming down right.
Yeah, no.
But okay, we'll give him credit. There was like 2 apartments in between,
which makes you wonder about those other tenants.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
Did the Russian kill them before he got in? These might get loud. Snap, snap, snap. Yeah. Punisher.
I mean, didn't a grenade go off in that apartment?
Yeah, there was just so much fucking chaos, and nothing ever happened.
Yeah. It's like, and how does that end? With him falling down the stairs.
Oh, getting hit with the deep fryer. Oh, I cringed at that. That was good. That was good.
Yeah. When he leans up and he just, his face is all bubbly and gooey.
Delicious.
A little disturbing, but overall great scene. The final confrontation at the end.
I thought was good, but once again, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, your arms are gonna get hit with something. Like, shrapnel can go off, and you're fucked.
It was creative.
Yeah.
And I do like the way that he sets off the explosive in the wine in the champagne bottle. And then he barges in and starts killing people. There is a great death in that.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
When he's going up the staircase and he stabs a guy
right through the mouth.
Right through the mouth. And you see the knife in his mouth.
Yes.
I remember seeing that in theaters and saying that was the death that I remembered out of all of them.
Yeah.
The guy who got stabbed through the mouth.
Like, I enjoyed it because when I remember when it first came out, it made I remember seeing how it was rated R.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this might actually work. Because no other Marvel character is rated R, nor did they need to. So, like, the Punisher has to be rated R. Has to be bloody, has to be gory. And we got that, but just toward the end. Like, he makes John Travolta think his bodyguard is sleeping with his wife. Then at the end, he goes, no, he was really gay the whole time.
It's like, you made me kill... you killed my son. And then you hear the... No! And the explosion go... Both of them,
yeah. His growing-up Gotti's son's trapped under, like, a giant 2x4 or something. And, like, he attaches a string to a bomb, and he's having him hold it up. And he goes, you're a strong kid. You got to hold this up or else it'll go off. And then he walks out. You killed my son. Both of them.
Like, now I've killed you. that quick pistol draw scene bothers me a little bit, but it's, you know what? I don't know anything about quick draw. I just thought it was silly the way
it was very, like, dumb. You're versing a guy with no military experience. Take your time. Savor it. Like, what the hell?
That, and then, of course, I mean, John Travolta's character, you're talking a crime boss, and he gets shot, not a lethal wound.
Yeah.
Because clearly he's a lot... And what does he do? He does a little spin around and drops to the floor. You do a quick draw with somebody with intent to kill, right? And you get shot non-lethally, so you just drop to the floor. Like, that, to me, that's like, no. He would have at least tried to pop off a few, because he was awake and coherent, because, Thomas Jane was able to tie him to the car and drag him through the maze of exploding
That's
vehicles.
right. Oh, yeah, which happened to shape the Punisher's logo. What was with setting superhero logos on fire in the 2000s? Daredevil had it. Punisher had it. What was the point?
I don't know. You know what? At the time, I mean, you got to keep in mind, when that movie came out, I was... 13 years old.
I was a youngin' too.
So
I got in because my friend Mel's
was
dad.
The coolest thing in the world.
Oh, I was like a little kid, like, this is so good. Then watching it now, I'm like, you piece of shit, little Bob. Why are you watching this?
I've tried to make my girlfriend watch this movie like 4 times.
Yeah.
And we never do. It never happens. So, Funny enough, that's actually one of the first times I ever hung out with her. That movie was on, and we watched.
So sorry to hear.
Yeah, but
Made you look better. Probably the best thing in the room at that point.
Yeah, that's hard to accomplish. One thing that came out of that, though, I think, was the Punisher video game.
Oh my God! Voiced by Thomas Jane. Please take us into this game.
This video game came out the same year. However, did not follow the same story as the movie.
Oh no!
This actually was it featured so many Marvel characters, mostly Punisher characters.
Yeah, and a lot of people make cameos too. Matt Murdock happens to be his lawyer.
Yep. Tony Stark appears.
Tony Stark appears as Iron Man.
Yep. In fact, you go into Stark Labs in one of the levels.
Yeah, one of the point he takes his neighbor with the piercings, who's real in the comics, and he takes him. He goes, "Oh, he really wanted to see Stark Labs," and then it gets attacked by the Yakuza. Yeah. And then at the end, Iron Man's like, "I got to clean this shit up. Kill who you want. I'm not looking." And flies away.
Yep.
Great cameo.
There's a scene when they're on the ground fighting with Nick Fury.
Yes, that's right, Nick Fury. Yeah, that's right. Come on, Castle, let's go.
In fact, I think he's in 2 levels.
He's in the jungle level.
Yes.
Where you fight the Russian.
And the Russian fight was kind of fun too. We have to shoot the exploding barrel.
Like it's close to him?
Yeah.
Because when you shoot him, he's like, bullets are like mosquitoes to the Russian. And you're like, fuck, what am I going to do? And then you notice every time he goes on fire, because you have incendiary grenades, he walks by a flaming canister, you shoot it, and boof, he falls, run away. Grenades too hurt him, but you had so little of them in that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game featured one cool thing, because in the movie he interrogates the valet? Who's that kid he interrogates with the ice pop?
Mickey Duca.
Mickey Duca, yes. In the movie, in Thomas Jane's movie 2004 Punisher, he interrogates him by his like, oh, fire gets so hot when it burns your flesh, gets to a certain level, it feels cold. So he has him suspended upside down, and he's basically tickling his back with an icicle. And he's like, oh, at the same time burning a prime rib on the side. He goes, that's your flesh burning. It'll pop and crackle, but you won't feel it by then. With the firecracker ice cream. So in this game, they kind of took advantage of that. And in the game, you can just grab any random guy and just interrogate them. And the interrogations are brutal.
The regular interrogations are brutal. The special ones are even more so.
Oh, yeah, the environmental ones.
Yes. I mean, the regular interrogations, you can kick a guy's head into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. You can choke him out. Another one is you punch him. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
But the special ones,
they're brutal.
I don't remember exactly what it is, but I know you could boil somebody's head. I don't remember what.
Oh yeah, well in the game, like we said, it does not follow the movie at all. You go through almost every kind of environment you can, say in an action movie or even an action video game. You go from a crack house to Stark Labs to a zoo to a Russian crime dock to a meatpacking facility, which probably hit you at home. Like there were so many in every single a chop shop.
Yep.
You throw the guy in the car compressor at the end, and he boils. Like it was such a great scene. So the execution you're talking about, you're in a Yakuza hotel, a nightclub, and you interrogate a guy in a deep fryer.
Okay.
That was sick. Yeah. That was sick.
And you get rewarded for not killing them, but you have to do at least one through the game when you kill off everybody.
Oh, and they're so brutal.
But that game, absolutely a lot of fun.
I loved it.
One of my personal favorite games. I know you agree with me on that.
Very familiar with it. I loved it. Kingpin was the bad guy in this one, and you fought Bullseye and other villains such as Bushwhacker.
Yes.
Smile, Castle. You gotta see your family. Kapoom! And he shoots you through the floor.
You're battling throughout the game the Nucci family.
The Nucci family, like they literally dug through every corner of the Punisher lore to introduce them. Mama Nucci.
It was, a lot of levels are really cool. The Bullseye level is a little annoying, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the abandoned hotel that belonged to Kingpin Tower, pretty much.
Yep.
I loved what was it, when you go to the Nucci compound, another level, you go into the library where you fight Bushwhacker for the last time, and he goes, what a big library. Probably 4 million copies of The Godfather. Yeah. I cracked up at that. There's so many good jokes.
There are,
And Thomas Jane, I liked him better in the game than in the movie.
A lot of good lines in that game. It's a lot of fun.
Really fun. I recommend picking it up.
Yeah.
PS2, GameCube, Xbox.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And not too complicated, but it's just one of those games where every hit you get a multiplier for every time, as long as you don't get hit, and you get points at the end, but you can pick your arsenal as you walk into the level.
Yeah, exactly. Prior to every level, you unlock weapons and guns by picking them up by the enemies, and eventually you can unlock like little cheats and stuff like that. You get a flamethrower, deagles, everything you can imagine. Better and better and better.
And I like the way the Punisher looks in that game, especially like the jungle level when he has the skull face.
The skull face paint.
Yeah.
It's like that's not gonna stick out.
That's a really good game. So that's one thing good that came out of the Punisher movie in 2004, even though had nothing to do with the movie really. Jigsaw. Jigsaw was also in
Jigsaw happened to was the main bad guy in the game.
Yes.
Which I love the way he looked, and I love the boss battle with him.
Mm-hmm.
Rikers Island is another fucking venue in that game. That
Yep.
game is so good. But Jigsaw wound up being the big bad guy at the end.
Which was nice because Jigsaw is actually a great Punisher villain who is featured in, notice the segue, the Ray Stevenson Punisher Warzone from 2008. Ray Stevenson, my favorite Punisher. I mean, unfortunately, there's only 3 to choose from, but my favorite out of the 3.
Oh yeah, definitely my favorite. I absolutely loved him in it because I originally knew him from HBO's Rome.
Okay.
And he played a pretty hard ass motherfucker character in that one. And then seeing this one, which wasn't very highly advertised, a female director made this as violent as this movie was. You want to talk about the game being violent? The fucking Warzone brought every single little thing from that game into it plus some. It truly captured the Punisher, in my opinion.
The Warzone was, it was an awesome movie, very graphic. Story with Jigsaw. I mean, Jigsaw himself looked disgusting.
I love Jigsaw's design. The accent was a little much,
Yeah.
but I absolutely loved how he looked with the white kind of straitjacket suit, and his face was all screwed up. I loved how they did that.
That was really cool. I remember Ray Stevenson from Dexter as well. If you ever watched Dexter, he played,
who was he in Dexter?
Gay Russian hitman.
Yes, yes, toward the end, I remember that. Yes, Ray Stevenson played him. Yeah.
Also, that's not Ray Stevenson' only Marvel role. He is one of Thor's buddies in the Thor movies.
Oh my God, that's right.
I forget the name of the character. But.
Punisher is infiltrating Asgard.
Yeah. So, Ray Stevenson was a great choice. The movie was a flop. Nobody went to see that movie.
It barely made budget, but it became a cult classic. Like, it made back all of its revenue from rentals and purchases and everything.
Definitely. That's probably the best one to watch. Definitely out of the 3. I would say.
It's really good. Like, it's not really a sequel, but it kind of picks up and has reminiscent memories of what happened in the original Punisher, kind of. And in this one, kind of like Dolph Lundgren, he lives in the subway. He runs around. We get to see Detective Soap, who's a pussy with his hard-ass character, and he's protecting the wife of an FBI agent in which he killed by accident, who was undercover, trying to infiltrate Jigsaw's crime family. So he's trying to protect her from Jigsaw. Computer Chip.
Yes.
Hello, Newman. Plays Computer Chip, his sidekick from the comic, which I thought was such a great addition. Such a great movie. Like, I love it when they dig deep into the lore and use it responsibly.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that, and then the next one that wasn't an actual feature film or anything, but there was a short film. Well, short. I wouldn't even really call it a short film. Punisher: Dirty Laundry from 2012.
Great bit.
This was Thomas Jane's little project, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's literally just one scene out of what you would expect to be a Punisher film, where he doesn't even really dispense that much punishment, but it is pretty cool. It's Ron Perlman is in it, for those who care about that. Basically, he's just living on the down low and gets put in a situation where he wants to come out again.
Yeah, he's living in a van kind of across the country. I think he's in Jersey in this one. All I know is that they make a reference to him being from New York because of his Yankee cap.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's doing laundry, and there's this prostitute or hoe, whatever, being beat up by his pimp, and he's like, I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to mind my business. Then he looks up and sees the Punisher symbol in the sky. He's like, that's it. I gotta distribute punishment.
Yeah.
And he just F's everybody up with the Jack Daniels bottle, which is so cool. There's a part where he's hitting guys in the knees and their bones are just boom exploding out of their skin. Oh, that was great. That is what I would have wanted to have seen for 2.5 hours back in 2004.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was partially funded by Jack Daniels. But
True.
But that was, I mean, for a little pet project, I think he did a great job with it.
I loved it.
Definitely, that's worth checking. You can watch it on YouTube right now, I'm pretty sure. It's not very long.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. That's out of all the Punisher things we mentioned, that's probably the coolest one because it's so short and you can just kind of run through it.
It's enough.
Yeah. That's, as you said, that's what we would have liked to have seen a lot of. That's needs to be edited out. What the fuck? What are we talking about now?
No, but my opinion, like back to Dirty Laundry and Warzone, like one thing they all happen to have in common which really surprised me, was they all tried to at least match the dark theme, whether it was good or not. Like, each of them, they didn't make him an overbearing, blubbering baby because of his family's death,
Okay.
which I really liked. Because Batman's got billions of dollars, but his parents died, so he wants to fight crime for it now, but he keeps crying about it. Punisher's like, you killed my family, I just need to kill to go numb. Like, that's his alcohol, that's his Jack Daniels. So in all of them, that's all he's really doing is just killing to remember his family.
Okay.
Which I really, 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 really liked.
I appreciate that. I actually, yeah, that's something that I didn't even really pick up on, but after you say it, now that I'm seeing that a little bit more.
Looking for some light.
Yeah, in the Thomas Jane version, he is kind of
Mildly a blubbery baby because his whole family died as opposed to just his wife and kid.
Yeah, it was a family reunion, and every one of them slaughtered.
By the Travolta crew. Scientology killed the Punisher's family.
Yeah.
Well, now that we speak of that, like, we ended, spoiler alert, if anyone has not watched a Daredevil series, we're going to give you like a second to turn it off now. Okay, so Kingpin is taken down, as well as every other pretty much crime head within Hell's Kitchen. So Kingpin is actually arrested, thrown away. He's killed pretty much everybody else. The old Asian lady, she's gone now. So Hell's Kitchen is up for grabs pretty much. So this makes me think, what other crime lords can be introduced? Jigsaw, who's huge in the Punisher. So maybe Jigsaw moves in, he tries claiming his turf and doing his thing, and Daredevil's trying to go after him. And Punisher's like, no, I know this guy. That's why I'm moving into Hell's Kitchen.
I mean, I could definitely see that. That'd probably be the best way to bring him in.
Yeah, I would love that.
Because, I mean, Daredevil is badass in this. I mean, he can kick some serious ass in
Yeah,
this
they
show.
really made him look good.
But let's call it the way it is. I don't know if he could deal with a crime family that the Punisher can. You know, in the same way the Punisher can.
Yeah, true.
It's you're talking two different realms. I mean, you could barge into a place and start kicking ass, but big difference between kicking ass with people whose head honcho is a ninja.
Yeah,
or,
true.
And barging in with the head honcho being Jigsaw.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Daredevil likes taking down massive 1,000-year-old organized crime syndicates, and Punisher just likes beating up overweight Italians who own chop shops. Like it's just complete opposites. But it would be cool seeing them work neck and neck. Like, would Daredevil allow him to kill? Like, would that be the conflict between the two throughout the whole episodes? Will he not be introduced till halfway? Like, it's confirmed. We know Punisher's going to be in it. It was hinted, and now we have Bernthal cast. That's even bigger news. So they have to really take advantage.
I definitely don't think we're going to see the Punisher right away. The most we'll see is they might show his existence at the end of episode 1, but I don't think we're going to actually see him do anything until probably like maybe the third or fourth episode.
True. Maybe like random goons have been gunned down viciously, and Daredevil's like, I took everybody out. Who the hell could this be?
Yeah, I mean, that might be an interesting way to see it, where Daredevil barges in, kicks the crap out of everybody, and then sees the paper the next morning that they're all dead.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. Or maybe even the Punisher, because he was introduced in Spider-Man by trying to take down Spider-Man because he didn't trust him. And maybe this can be it. Maybe Daredevil's like cleaning up the remains of everybody from the last season, and Punisher's like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. How are you taking these guys down, not killing them? I think you're with them. I think you're trying to take over the turf. That's what you're trying to do.
I can see that. I mean, Frank Castle, even though he, is the Punisher, he's still he's still on the good side. That's why he's like that anti-hero. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He wants to clean up the streets. He just does it his way.
He punishes.
His way works.
Death.
Let's call it the way it is. His way works.
His way gets shit done. And pretty much, not only does that way work, we work. So listen up for next week. This is yet another wonderful episode of the Comic Book Bobcast, brought to you by The Elbow Drop, where we drop the elbow on all things sports and entertainment. I'm Bob, and with me, as always, my fantastically voiced counterpart, Bad Boy.
Wishing you all a good night and good luck.